Okay, so I hadn't talked about this yet, but there has been work going on behind the scenes to completely revamp the KDE theming system. So in this video, I will cover how this new amazing setup works, and it does already work-ish, plus what the future of KDE styles and themes could look like. But first, this will mean nothing to you if I don't tell you why this is even necessary in the first place, like what's wrong with our current setup. So our current setup is sort of a mess. Firstly, we have Plasma styles. These only apply to Plasma, your shell, and everything else completely ignores it. They are implemented via SVG files, which have benefits and drawbacks. Mostly drawbacks. Sure, they might be very easy to make. Lots of people know how to use SVGs, but they are very hard to maintain. They are not very fast, and because you have to actually render out entire images, and there's no easy way to expose configuration options, which is why you will see the SVGs to be full of these little fun, colorful blocks that are not actually being displayed anywhere, but the parser checks whether they exist or not to know whether to turn on or off a certain flag. It's a bit hacky, and overall I don't like it, which fair enough, but this is purely for Plasma. Like, what about other styles? Well, next up we have application styles. They are directly used by all Qt widgets applications, which is the type of UI toolkit that is used by apps such as Dolphin or Gwenview. As you can see in the screenshot, there's no download button. That's because application styles are written in C++ and have to be compiled to be used. The only way to get them is either by, compiling them yourself, or if they're shipped with your preferred package manager. And on top of that, they're extremely difficult to make. There are a few third-party projects that are branches of Breeze, but starting from scratch an application style is not something you can just do. Which is why a lot of Unix-born users use something called Kvantum. Kvantum is an application style which, to put it very simply, converts an SVG file to a style. Basically, it draws an SVG on the screen. You're again missing out on performance by doing this, but it does make it much easier to create custom application styles. But then we have Qt quick control styles. Many KDE applications like Discover are not written in Qt widgets, but in QML, a markup language that has its own style, because of course it has. To repeat, application styles, which are actually called Q styles, apply on Q widget applications, whereas Qt quick control styles apply to QML applications. Well, in order to simplify this whole thing, KDE developed a Qt quick control style called Desktop, which uses, bear with me, the Q style to draw the Qt quick control style. So basically it uses the same style that Qt widgets application use, but it applies it to QML applications. This way, if you select Microsoft Windows 9X as your application style, all of your KDE applications will use it, regardless of whether they are Qt widgets or Qt quick ones. But this is also very hackish. Like, it does not work very well. A lot of the UI of QML applications still does not really follow the Qt quick style at all. The Q style, at all. And this is especially noticeable if you use Kvantum. You will really see how QML applications really stick out in a bad way. But there's worse, and yes, there is. If you decide to switch to Plasma Mobile, you'll find out that mobile applications do not follow the Q style because they have their own Qt quick style written from scratch, and it ends up being inconsistent with other themes slightly. Why did we do this? Well, hear me out. The Q style is software rendered, whereas the Qt quick support hardware acceleration, meaning the former won't be as performant on a mobile phone. So this is the situation. We have three different types of styles: Plasma, Qt widgets, Qt quick. The third of which is inherited by the second one, and the first two are made in completely different ways, but they don't talk to each other. But wait, there's worse. There's actually a fifth implementation of the Breeze style, and that's the Breeze theme for GTK. This last one is a JTK theme, which tries to resemble Breeze as much as possible, and it's sort of going unmaintained. So if anybody wants to create a new KDE theme, it would probably take a good year of development to writing from scratch, which is not ideal. There's also an issue for us KDE developers. It means that implementing new style changes multiple times over, and if we want to change something in the application style, then we need to wait years, yes, years, until someone with a deep knowledge of how they work has some time to work on that. Luckily, Arian has the solution, and it's called Union. I hope I'm pronouncing Arian correctly. The core idea is to have an abstraction over the types of style of inputs and outputs. Right? Could give Union an SVG theme, or maybe a CSS theme, or maybe a QML theme, or more, and all of those input types would then be converted into the same abstract theme type. Union will then implement various theme outputs, such as Qt widgets and Qt quick, which would just read that abstract theme to know what to draw. So potentially, you could write a Qt quick theme using SVG, or a Qt widget one using CSS, or any other combination that you would like. Any input can be converted to any output. Of course, you wouldn't have the full range of SVG options or CSS options. It would still be a subset of functionalities of those markup languages, the subset that we can actually translate to the middle abstract layer. So how do we do this? And by we, by the way, right now I mean Arian, but it's soon going to be a more collaborative thing. So he decided to start off with just one input and just one output, understandably. And it chose SVG files to be used as inputs, since we have lots of them thanks to the Plasma themes, and Qt quick to be used as outputs, since it's used by Plasma and many KDE applications. Union currently does not implement the full Qt quick style, but it does style most of the basic controls, which allows applications to run using it already. And here we have it. This is discovered styled using the current state of Union. It does not look exciting, but do remember that it uses a completely new theme engine under the hood. So that's exciting. The intermediate layer is made of a bunch of style rules, which are created by the input layer, currently only SVG. There which properties do apply to this element sort of thing. They have selectors, which determines the elements that the style rule is applied to. This is quite similar to CSS. Like, you could have a style rule that says I want text to be red, and a selector that says to any focused button. Oh, and as a Plasma developer, this would also solve my issue with the annoying SVG hint items, since the SVG input layer also accepts a YAML file that actually defines which element is used for which control. And most likely we could also define things that are like flags or margins using that same file. So what's next? The current goal, according to Arian, is to finish up the SVG to Qt quick workflow so that we can actually start using Union just for Plasma Shell, deprecating the current Plasma theme implementation. To the user, this should mean that nothing changes at all, but we would start getting some real-world usage of Union. Once we do have real-world usage of Union, we could start to implement a QStyle that uses it, which, due to QStyle's complexity, is going to be a tough task to handle. And then, one day, it would be nice to have a CSS input, but there's a significant issue. To quote Arian, there's no good CSS parser on the internet. What we need here is one that is available as a C++ library, and that returns a parsed tree of what's in the CSS without anything added on top of it. If this works, more outputs could be slowly rolled out. The JTK Breeze theme, which is currently a bunch of manually written CSS, could become just another Union output that we could use. Even better, this would make it much easier for KDE designers to improve and maybe create new themes. Which brings me to another major topic, which is an initiative driven forward by Andy called Plasma Next. But before I get into its details though, I need to remind all of you that this video is not sponsored by anybody except of you. This YouTube channel is currently a net negative on my finances due to the cost of server equipments, and my collaborator Luca, who knows a lot of stuff that I'm not an expert in and helps me to do, these videos. Thus, if you want to help me out, make all of this available for free, you can donate to me using Patreon, PayPal, Ko-Fi, and LibraPay. Or you can use thelibre.news, the website I set up where all of these videos are available as articles. You can subscribe there too, and some extra content for subscribers will be soon available, soon-ish. It's a work in progress. Just today I sent an email which was completely broken, sorry. But most importantly, if you don't like this video as much as you like its content, you can donate to KDE instead of me. Just press the big donate button in KDE.org to enter the current fundraiser where you can adopt an application, become a supporting member, or more. So let's get back to the design side of things. Firstly, credit where it's due, you should go all watch Andy's YouTube channel, which has frequent updates on his work to improve the KDE design system. A lot of information on this section was taken from him, and links are in the video description, so go give him some love. Andy is trying to completely revamp the KDE design system, which does not necessarily mean a complete redesign of Breeze, but rather a new way to handle its design. He has formed a team, and the name of this effort is Plasma Next. So, firstly, there's the question on what to use to do KDE design. So far, we've never had an agreed upon preferred platform. Some of us were doing stuff in Inkscape, other people were using Figma, which has its own issues, like being proprietary. The free and open source alternative is called Penpot. The KDE visual design team did watch this new tool be announced and grow, but we were sort of waiting for it to be good enough to be used. Like Penpot very kindly reached out to us and asked us what they could do to help us switch to them. The design system should have icons, colors, typography, and reusable assets of all the common KDE components, all with the same consistent Breeze theme. Currently, Penpot does not support all of those features, which are required for those elements to run. Apparently, icons were a major issue here, but the team has acknowledged that, and they are trying to work on that to improve those aspects. Even better, according to Andy, Penpot has provided the Plasma Next team with free training on how to use that tool, and they've joined the Next chat to help out where they can, which is amazing. We really have to thank them for their efforts here. So far, the team has managed to port colors, shadows, typography, and blurs to Penpot. Until then, there's a lot of work undergoing to revamp KDE icons over Figma. There's a whole new set of 24 pixel icons, and the new weather icons, there's some of that and more. There's now work to revamp the 16 pixels icon to match those 24 pixels ones, and you can see that they're turning out to be really pretty with nice rounded borders and a breeze feeling. Of course, since these are drawn at the 16 pixel, they won't look this good on your screen, but still pretty good. And as I mentioned before, in the past months, a consistent set of plasma colors were created, along with some standard shadows and blurs to use on any element. Apparently, there's some sort of token mechanism to categorize the color values, but really you should just read Andy's blog post about it if you want to get technical. I just don't get it. Of course, this is not something that has an immediate payoff, and the same applies to Union, but it's great to see that we as KDE, not me specifically, other people are able to address those long-term tasks that will make the project best in class over its design department, I think. So thanks everybody for watching, and see you tomorrow. I feel like I didn't stress enough the fact that all of this will take time. Like, it's not something that's really available. It's gonna take months and years, but it's coming. That's the cool part. Sorry, I just had to point that out.